Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this September 6th, a Friday. But first things first, a quick little plug for IFX Expo that is coming September 16th to the 18th to Bangkok. It'll be at the Santara Grand and Bangkok Convention Center. You can learn all you need to know about all of the new exciting financial products that are coming to the market and how you can save up some money, create a little nest egg, plan for the future. So we will be there. We'll be filming. Hopefully we see you there as well. All right. Let's get into the news. Now, today we'll be talking about some infuriating South Korean customs officials, luxury amenities in prisons, and later we'll explore the success of Indonesia's horror industry as well as some Laotian jokesters in the hot seat. But first, our main story. An Indian man goes crazy, damages a hair salon, gets violent, and then strips naked. Ugh. A 38-year-old Indian man caused chaos in Bangkok's Siam Square on September 4th, damaging a hair salon and acting, erratically. Dressed in shorts and barefoot, he attempted to break salon property before fleeing and being subdued by police. He wrapped himself in a plastic bag during the incident. Witnesses noted his bizarre behavior earlier in the day near Siam BTS station. After being arrested, his erratic actions continued at the police station where he stripped naked and paced in his cell. Authorities suspect drug use or a mental health crisis and are awaiting contact from his relatives. Chaos. Yeah, that was not cool, man. I think clearly there's something going on here, whether it's substance abuse, excuse me, or just a mental health break. One of the two. This is something where somebody needs some help. He's caused some damage. He's pacing around in a cell naked. This is a scary dude. I'm a little frightened. I'm glad the police were able to get a hold of him, wrangle him in, and bring him in. But now we need to get to the bottom of it. Drug abuse is still an issue here in Thailand, especially amongst the visitors and tourists, maybe. But also at the same time, mental health infrastructure, especially an Indian man, right? I don't believe that there's very good mental health infrastructure over there either. It's important that this kind of mental break is addressed and whatever the root causes are brought to light, and hopefully he can get the help he needs. At the same time, you can't be going around making your problems everybody's problems like this. Yeah, fortunately no one really hurt. A little bit of property damage. Hopefully he's cooled off and we can get to the bottom of that. But yeah, anyways, we're still just kind of getting started. Let's keep it going. I have another shocking and terrible drug-related story that we're going to get into next. A teenage girl overdosed and passed away after sex with a man in his 60s. Nasty stuff. A 16-year-old Thai girl died from a ketamine overdose during sex with a 63-year-old man in Samut Prakan. Initially, the man claimed she was helping with live streaming to support his shoe-selling business, but later confessed she had just been hired for sex and voluntarily took ketamine before the encounter. The girl had a seizure and died, leading to charges against the man for taking a minor away from her guardians, with further child prostitution charges pending. Well, this is obviously very disgusting. The man was 63 years old, selling shoes to support his elderly mother in her 80s. This girl was supposedly hired for social media awareness, but in the end, no. It was just a sex work setup. Now, ketamine, a famously dissociative drug. If I'm a 16-year-old girl and all of a sudden I have to have sex with this 63-year-old man, you can completely understand why you would want to disassociate from that experience. And unfortunately, she OD'd, and because the man was afraid, I guess, of getting in trouble, he didn't get her the medical attention she needed immediately, and now we've lost a girl. So I hope the book is thrown at this man. He was disgusting for engaging in this in the first place, taking advantage of a young girl. Witnessing her do the drugs, understanding she was doing that, and then not helping when she started convulsing and overdosing. So his story didn't really add up. The police are suspicious. Right now he's being held, and we'll see what the final charges are against this man. Terrible stuff. All right, but that's the heaviest we're going to get today, guys. So we have some lighter crime news. Woo! Move on to the next story. Now, Thai police have arrested a duo smuggling Chinese migrants up in the north. Immigration officers in Padai Police in Mukdahan intercepted a pickup truck smuggling 10 illegal Chinese migrants on September 4th. After receiving a tip-off, police set up a barrier, but the driver, Nampul, rammed through and fled. Following a high-speed chase, both Nampul and his accomplice, Natapol, were arrested. Police found a Glock 19 pistol and over 100 mobile phones in the truck. Both Thai men face charges of assisting illegal entry and illegal firearm possession, while the Chinese nationals are charged with unlawful entry. Kudos to cutting short that, human trafficking operation. Clearly, these guys were at it for a while. They had a gun. They had 100 cell phones. I mean, they only had 10 people in the car, so I would imagine there were more uses for that than just for the people that they had with them. But, yeah. Exciting stuff, ramming through a police barricade. I don't know why criminals think that that kind of stuff is going to work. I mean, if you're caught, you're caught. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to be facing jail time. What you have done has now just added dramatically more to your jail time by endangering officers' lives. And not only that, your own life. Like, I mean, just wild to me, especially coming from a place like America, where if anybody tries to do that, the police will unload 200 rounds in your car before they even attempt to pull you out of it. So this is what makes me a little proud of the Thai police, for them to be able to handle these situations, make these arrests without, filling them full of holes like Swiss cheese. So that's good. Justice is actually served in this case, rather than what we would see in this similar situation back stateside. Weird stuff. All right, moving on to our next story. This is another funny, dumb criminal. A Filipino thief was arrested at a Bangkok airport after stealing a very expensive necklace. A Filipino man, Raleigh, his name is, who stole a 250,000 baht necklace from a Bangkok mall in March, was arrested at Suvarnabhumi Airport on September 5th upon returning to Thailand. Yeah, dummy. Posing as a client, he stole the necklace and fled the country immediately afterwards. Police identified him through security footage but couldn't catch him before he left. Authorities monitored his return and apprehended him at 3:30 a.m. Middle of the night. Bummer. The police commissioner warned jewelry stores to be cautious of well-dressed clients and advised them to install high-resolution cameras and alert systems for better security. Yeah. I mean, the facial recognition stuff is here, guys. Like, this guy, what a dummy. He got away with it. What the hell? He made it off to the Philippines. He made 250,000 baht. That's no small sum for Thailand. I'm assuming it goes even further in the Philippines. So, yeah, back to the scene of the crime. Airport security is legit. They have their facial recognition in there. If your face is in the police system, they're going to catch you at the border, as is the case here. Not entirely sure what the punishment will be. I don't think he'll be deported. He'll probably be facing time here in Thailand. But, yeah, what a dummy. I guess criminals aren't really known for having the brightest minds. And, yeah, case in point here. All right. Now, I think mostly at funny stories. Well, we will go to prison again later, but one more airport security system thing. This is a weird story, and I'm pretty sure it's rooted in racism, but please do let me know what you guys think about the next one. Now, bizarre questions led to a Thai woman's denial of entry into South Korea. A Thai woman was denied entry to South Korea on September 3rd after failing to answer unusual immigration questions about her hotel, including the number of trees and the color of her room. She shared her experience in a Facebook group, sparking widespread debate online. Some found the questions absurd and joked about giving random answers, while others were frustrated by the perceived unfair treatment. The woman claimed over 10 others faced similar issues, raising concerns about the scrutiny Thai travelers face when entering South Korea. What? How many trees does the hotel have? What color is your room? I'm arriving in South Korea. I don't know. I haven't even been to the hotel yet. And what am I supposed to do? Know the answer to those questions? So this feels like racism, profiling against Thai citizens. Not the first time we've heard this story. Big influencers, right? People that are going to Korea to, make their content and have fun, because South Korean culture is very popular in Thailand. I mean, just look at Blackpink. You got Lisa there too. The connections are strong. So I don't know why these guys have a stick up their butt about Thai people coming to South Korea when they've exported so much soft power. And, you know, isn't that the goal? Bring people in to come and visit. So creating these negative experiences is going to make people rethink where they are going to spend their time on vacation. When, you know, you get on the flight, you arrive, and denied entry, that's a big waste of time, waste of money, waste of effort. Yeah, screw that guy. I think that's an absolutely terrible miscarriage of justice and immigration customs services. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this one. All right, moving on to our last Thai story before we get to the ASEAN region. Let's go to prison. Luxury-like prison services in Thailand are currently under investigation. Police in Samut Sakhon are investigating reports of luxury services being offered to inmates after 2 former prisoners exposed alleged corruption. The inmates claimed that those with financial means could pay for personal space, amenities like beds, and even mobile phones, creating a hotel-like experience behind bars. Basic items like coffee and noodles were also sold at inflated prices, and contraband like marijuana and cigarettes was also allegedly smuggled in. The police have formed a special committee to investigate the claims, highlighting corruption issues within Thai prisons. You know, I don't know. I know Thai prison is supposed to be a punishment, right? Like, it's punishment enough that you can't really move around. You see this in prison movies all the time, right? If people with the means from the outside, there's plenty of, like, illicit economies that go on there. At the same time, you look at, you know, your Scandinavian prisons and stuff like that, where there's more of an emphasis on rehabilitation, right? So that when people get out of jail, they have jobs, they have job skills, they're able to join the workforce. There's lower rates of recidivism. I think if you're dealing with people who are non-violent criminals, things like that, that's probably a better route. So I don't know what you take on this, everybody. Should people in prisons be allowed certain amenities like, you know, beds? Apparently, that's a luxury item. I'm not entirely sure that feels like a human right to me. But at the same time, yeah, it is meant to be a punishment. I don't know. A curious story, but the investigations are on, and we'll see what's come up. I cannot imagine the inside of a Thai prison is very nice. So if I were ever to see one of those, the inside, good God, knock on wood, I would imagine I'd want some of those amenities too. But we'll see. All right, let's move on. We're going to that was it for our Thailand news. I got a few stories for you from the ASEAN region. I think I might start throwing in some more India too. We had a couple of India stories that have just been blowing up, so I guess that's something people are interested watching our pages, but not today on the ASEAN side. First, we're going to Malaysia. Now, Malaysia rejects China's demands to stop South China Sea oil exploration. A little geopolitics for you. Malaysia will not halt its oil and gas exploration in the South China Sea despite demands from China, as Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim emphasized the activities are within Malaysian waters. China previously protested Malaysia's exploration near Sarawak, accusing it of infringing on areas within Beijing's controversial 10-line claims. Anwar stressed that Malaysia seeks to maintain strong ties with China, but will protect its territorial and economic interests. While several countries dispute China's claims in the South China Sea, Malaysia prefers to resolve tensions through diplomatic channels. Yeah, this is compared to, say, the Philippines, where they these vessels, these Navy vessels, keep ramming into each other. Nothing really happens except some, you know, some scuffs and dents on the boats, but that does seem a bit childish. At the same time, China has these issues with every single nation that they are neighboring. So that is a unifying force. So I'll never understand why China takes on this antagonistic role when it comes to the territorial claims in the South China Sea. They act unilaterally, right? They don't negotiate with their neighbors, and that leads all of the neighbors to, you know, band together and seek each other's help in standing up to China, because obviously China is a very large, monolithic government and society that doesn't seem to care about the territorial claims of its neighbors at all and keeps flexing its muscles to push out. That leads to many of these countries turning to other power players like America, in order to hold on to their own territorial claims. Dumb, I think. I always hoped that China would... You know, I always had high hopes of China liberalizing and becoming a more open space, a better player on the geopolitical stage. Doesn't seem to be the case, especially with its immediate neighbors. And I don't see any changes coming to that anytime soon. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments on that. All right, on to our next story. We're heading over to Indonesia with a subject that is very near and dear to my heart. Indonesia's horror films are surging in popularity. Ooh, spooky. Indonesia's horror film industry is booming, thanks to directors like Joko Anwar, who blend the country's rich folklore with modern storytelling. Anwar's 2017 hit Pengabdi Setan and the recent Siksa Kubur highlight the trend, with his work reaching global audiences on platforms like Netflix. The number of Indonesian horror films has surged, with 50 produced in 2023 alone. Rooted in ghost stories and local mythology, Indonesia's horror boom has its origins in the 1970s and 80s, revitalized by new filmmakers inspired by Japanese and Thai horror, as well as the rise of streaming platforms. I'm going to give you my favorite one. I'm going to write it into the chat right now. Impetigore is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, regardless of borders. But yeah, this is fantastic. And this is like probably thanks to Netflix being able to provide budgets to these smaller countries to create content that is, you know, it's geared towards the local population, but it has wider appeal. And this is allowing the soft power of countries like Thailand, Indonesia to reach wider audience. Particularly genre enthusiasts like myself, I love horror, so I'm always in the mood and always looking out for new cool concepts. And you know, Hollywood gets a bit stale. So going around the world, you can see all sorts of interesting new stories being told from interesting new voices and directors. So kudos. And yeah, another interesting aspect of why horror movies are really proliferating right now, they're easy to produce. Typically, you need to film in one location because you want that sense of like claustrophobia. You don't really move around too much. You don't need many characters, right? And a lot of the terror is in what you don't see, not what you see. So you don't need to spend a lot on CGI or anything like that. You just need a good makeups and practical effects team to make a good, successful tale. So compare that to, you know, action movies, which are just Marvel or nothing, big budgets or bust. But yeah, that's why we are in a golden era of horror movies. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you big fans? Because I sure am, and right now I am. There's a veritable, I'm trying to think of a good word. We're wealthy in terms of horror options, I'll say that. Our final story today, guys, is taking us over to a place we don't usually visit too often. We're off to Laos. Now, Laos has detained a duo over a satirical pothole fishing video. Free speech, my booty. Two graphic artists in Laos, Dai James and James Famor, were detained for posting an AI-generated video satirizing pothole-filled roads in their town. The video, which went viral, showed them fishing in potholes surrounded by crocodiles. Police arrested the duo on August 28th, releasing James the same day and requiring Famor to attend a re-education class before his release on September 2nd. Famor publicly apologized, admitting his actions violated Article 117 of the Lao Criminal Code. Locals criticized the police response as excessive, arguing the video highlighted real problems the government has ignored. Yeah, come on. Like, I don't know. This kind of stuff gets you in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble soon, too. No, it's ridiculous, right? Like, there's potholes. That's a real issue. They made a funny video. They went viral. That's, like, a good thing. Like, calling attention to it should be shaming the government into action on that issue. The answer isn't to arrest people and try to ignore the problems. So, not cool, man. Satire. It's one of the most important, most powerful tools. And now that we have access to platforms like TikTok, Instagram, whatever, social media, that's an important way to get the message out, right? Deliver it with some humor. Deliver it with a laugh. Make people smile while they're talking about it. And, you know, pay attention to the issues that these people are bringing up, because just because you've arrested them and re-educated them doesn't mean those potholes are going to get filled in. So it's one of those, what do they call it? The Streisand effect. They probably did more damage by arresting these guys and calling more attention to it than if they had just ignored it in the first place. Laos, as a country, has plenty of issues, bigger fish to fry than worrying about two content creators making a funny video. So, I don't know. Let me know if you agree in the comments, everybody. All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for GMT today. We will be back on Monday. Oh, actually, I will not. We're off to Phuket, aren't we? So never mind. I'll be back next Wednesday. Maybe Jay, you'll be seeing Jay here for some GMT action next Monday. But yeah, I guess that'll do it, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. When you guys come out to Bangkok, drop us a line, let us know, and we'll meet up for a drink and a chat. Why not? Everybody, have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.